My cousin asked me for help, and I laughed in her face. When my parents lost their jobs, we had to move in with my aunt and uncle. They're extremely wealthy with 5 guest rooms. Their house has 4 floors, and my cousin Maddie has her own bathroom and walk-in closet. Maddie was the favorite child of the family, the one who got straight A's, varsity tennis, volunteered at church. Everyone talked about her like she was perfect. When I transferred to her school, she told me she'd introduce me to everyone, and I wouldn't have to worry about being the new girl. I was relieved. But Maddie at home and Maddie at school were 2 completely different people. The first week, she offered to show me around. By the second week, she was ignoring me and pretending she barely knew me. She laughed with her friends while I walked past, looking for somewhere to sit. When I did make a friend in chemistry class, he pulled her aside and told her I had lice in middle school. The girl never talked to me again. At home, Maddie would take my phone charger and say she forgot. She'd talk about weekend plans in front of me that I wasn't invited to, knowing I had none. Her parents adored her. My parents told me to keep the peace and be grateful we had somewhere to stay. So I stayed quiet and watched Maddie play the perfect daughter while treating me like I was invisible. Things changed when I met Henry. He was a new student too. He transferred a month after me, so he didn't know anyone either. We met at lunch. When we both ended up at the empty table in the back corner, he made a joke about us being the left-out table, and I laughed. That's how it started. We became inseparable. He didn't care about Maddie or her friends or any social hierarchy. He just cared about me. When he asked me to be his girlfriend, it felt like things were finally turning around, but Maddie absolutely hated it. She had been trying to get Henry's attention since the day he arrived. She'd invited him to events, sent him messages online, did everything she usually does to get noticed, but Henry never responded. And then he chose me, her invisible cousin. Then, 2 days later, the rumor started. Maddie told people she found a test in my bag, positive. She said she wasn't trying to create drama, but she acted concerned. She made herself look like the caring cousin while making me look bad. It spread fast. People stared at me in the hallway. Conversations stopped when I walked by. Someone asked me when I was expecting. Teachers gave sympathetic looks. Henry would tell people it wasn't true, but I could tell it bothered him. Nobody questioned it. The rumor was too easy to believe. Then it got worse. Someone made a group chat called Baby Watch and added half the grade. People would approach me in the hall and poke fun. Students I'd never spoken to told me I should feel ashamed. Someone taped a small item to my locker. Someone slipped an informational pamphlet into my backpack, and I found it during class. Everyone saw and laughed. Then Henry started getting distant. His friends gave him a hard time. He started walking a little further away from me in the hallways and stopped texting at night. One day, I went to sit with him at lunch, and he said he needed space to think. I stopped eating in the cafeteria. I spent my free periods in the bathroom. Maddie didn't acknowledge what she'd done at home. She just smiled at me across the dinner table like nothing happened. I got pulled out of 3rd period, and when I walked into the counselor's office, my parents were waiting. My mom grabbed my hand, and my dad asked me directly if I was expecting. I reached into my bag and pulled out the paper I'd kept for days. Doctor's visit. Test results? Negative. My mom started crying with relief, and my dad asked who started the rumor. The counselor said they had reports from multiple students. Every single one gave the same name. When they confronted her, she panicked and said she was repeating what she heard. But people had proof, messages, recordings, everything. She started it. She spread it. And she made sure everyone believed it.